First of all, for a little bit of context, you and I talked, was it about 6 weeks ago or maybe 2 months? I don't know. When was it?
Probably about 4.5 weeks ago.
4.5 weeks. And since then, you've closed, is it 2 deals?
Two.
2 deals. And I just remember you're like, bro, I'm going to make this work because I got to make this work. But here's what I want to ask you. We got people out there that are like, I'll ask everyone, I'll say, hey, how confident are you can get a deal in 30 days? And I have all kinds of different answers. But what's crazy is most of the people that are like, well, kind of confident, those people don't even have full-time gigs, much less full-time gigs in DC. So how the hell are you able to get 2 deals, work in downtown DC, very strenuous job, 2 kids, the wife, like how are you able to manage? I think that's the question everyone wants to ask that's got a current 9 to 5 and probably not even near as intensive as yours. Or maybe they have one not as intensive, but they have, kids on top of that they have to watch because they're single, whatever. How are you able to manage getting deals and still doing the 9 to 5? Because that's what I'm interested in, because I don't think jumping is right for everyone. Like for you, it's not a responsible move to just jump. You can't. You have kids, you have all these different things, you have responsibilities. So talk to me about that.
So this is a long answer, and I think there'll be a few gems in here that apply to different people. So I'll just sit and pontificate until you cut me off. It comes down to a lot of things. I think at the heart of everything, you have to want it. And there's an interesting saying that I love that's floated around some of these other groups. And that is, in order to really change your life in a big way, I'm not talking about getting strawberry Pop-Tarts instead of cinnamon or closing your shades or brushing your teeth. In order to really change your life and get out of a situation, you have to hate that situation that you're in so much. You have to be so miserable, and you have to either be so done with the place that you're in your life, or you have to want the thing that you've created yourself, the vision, the end state that you've visualized so badly. Otherwise, you're not going to find the fortitude, the time, the energy, the resources, and all of the things that are necessary in order to get there. And it could be a combination of both. You hate where you're at and you have a very clear vision of where you want to be. But I think it all starts with that. I think this becomes really challenging, even for someone that may have money and that may just be doing this in their free time, to make this work if you don't really want it, or if you don't hate where you're at. Because the work is challenging. Figuring out how to build a site is hard. Getting a GMB unsuspended, which I seem to do every week, is challenging. Getting the ads thing figured out, especially if you're new to it, is frustrating as shit. Getting a lead and getting it down on a note card or on a paper or on a live transfer is hard enough. And then finding someone to hook, let alone getting everything transferred over and then closing something. The uninitiated outsider, especially if it's our first time doing it, it's like a challenging, complex, and honestly daunting series of these little difficult tasks that need to be accomplished in order to get to this mythical end state of a deal. And it's a lot to overcome. And obviously, as we keep doing it, it becomes easier, and there's probably still some apprehension even from veterans, but initially it sucks. And unless, again, you hate so desperately where you're at and know so clearly where you want to be, it's real hard to get the willpower together to do all that stuff. And it becomes challenging because we're spending money every day on ads. We're having to deal with all of the issues of the business that come up day to day. And if we just let the calls come in and don't answer them, we're wasting time and money and have to look at ourselves and ask, why are we doing this? So a desire, I think, is really the first one. And if you're here and you're hearing that, you think, well, I have a desire. Look yourself in the mirror and ask, like, what is my desire? Is it just to have money? Is it to get out of the situation you're in? Is that desire like the strongest burning thing in your life? Because if it's not, this might be more challenging to you for that reason. The next item I would list is prioritization, which seems totally obvious, but it's true. This is a beautiful business model because it doesn't take that long once you figure it out, but learning it can take forever, and testing it can take forever, and fine-tuning it can take a long time. And unless you've got the time to commit to it, that can be really challenging, just from a practical standpoint. So there has to be some analysis around where is the time in your day where you can devote an hour. And we've talked all about that in all of these videos that are in the media section. Get up early, set time aside, bring lunch in so you don't have to go eat. All the stuff we talk about, there's 1,000 ways if you're creative enough. Then it's an analysis of, if you're at work, what's your low density time look like? Do you have an hour to finish a task that only takes you 20 minutes? If you've got no other tasks, it sounds like you got 40 minutes to get some FFM done, whether that's looking at a module, whether it's doing copy or text, ordering something off Fiverr, asking a question. There are 1,000 small activities that we can do throughout the day that you can fill in that minimal free time with. Find a way to fill it in and take advantage of it. And then in the evenings, can you spend 20, 30, 40 minutes, even 10, getting something done? And if It's not a needle moving activity. It's something that allows you to just get closer to setting a foundation to do this. And then I would list 1,000 other little things, right? Reminding yourself every day of why you're doing it. To organization, do you use Trello and a task board? Do you use Google Sheets? Do you have a big document that lays out all your tasks? Because again, if you've got 10 minutes, but you don't know what you need to work on or where things are at, this starts to get real hard once you're above 5 or 6 sites with 5 or 6 BOs attached to each one as prospects, and you lose track. So get your systems down. I do everything in Excel across 2 spreadsheets with multiple tabs. I collect all my leads on a stack of note cards that I literally will write down wherever I am and turn around and do text message exchanges to BOs, tie people off instead of live transfers, and we're done. So I've got processes and systems down that I had to figure out real fast, but they're working, and it's different for everyone. Figure out what they are, figure out what you need to get done, figure out where the time is that you can use and how to create more, prioritize this, know what you want, and put your head down and go.